It's a widespread fear that by the time the National Prosecuting Authority is ready to proceed with prosecutions, many perpetrators of Apartheid-era crimes will no longer be alive to face justice. Today, the lawyer for the Cradock Four families, Advocate Howard Vani, addressed the court on this reality in the Cradock Four inquest.
Now, returning to the prospects of truth and justice, which we would submit are fast fading, even before the launching of the family's application, the civil application in July 2021, more than 10 suspects in the Cradock Four case had died, including all members of the security branch hit squad. And since launching that case, another 5 persons of interest have passed away. And with the death in May 2023 of the last remaining suspect, Hermanus Duplessis, against whom there was a prima facie case, they had to accept that a criminal prosecution in this matter was highly unlikely to happen. In August 2023, the families agreed to the holding of a third inquest, which was announced on 5 January 2024, and which was meant to start on 2nd September last year. But as my lady is aware, that collapsed since the persons of interest claimed that the NPA notified them too late to make timely arrangements for their legal costs. Indeed, even today, some of them, or at least one of them, are still litigating with the government on this issue, which explains why they are not testifying over the next 2 weeks. Already the bulk of Apartheid-era cases have come to an end because suspects and witnesses have died, not to mention family members. The primary reason behind this monumental failure of justice has been the political interference which effectively killed off most of the TRC cases. The vast majority of cases cannot be resurrected at this late stage. In the Cradock Four matter, we have identified some 49 persons who were associated in one form or another with this case. Virtually all of them have died. As mentioned, all 6 members of the police hit squad have died. All the masterminds against whom there was a prima facie case have died. Most of the members who sat on the State Security Council between 1984 and 1985 have died. Since the families launched their application to compel the NPA and SAT to take action in July 2021, the following persons of interest passed away. Eric Winter, former Cradock branch commander, died on 18 August 2021. F.W. de Klerk, former state president, died on 11 November 2021. Johannes Velder van der Merwe, former SAP commissioner, died on 27 August 2022. Adrian Vlok died on 8 January 2023. Lucas Daniel Neil Barno, former director of National Intelligence Service, died on 13 January 2025. And as mentioned, Hermanus Duplessis, former head of branch Black Affairs and PE, died on 16 May 2023. He was the mastermind behind the gruesome murders, not only of the Cradock Four, but also the Petco 3, Sipiwe Ntukulu, Topsy Madaka, Izanziwe, Kondila, amongst others. All were tortured and abused before their deaths. The lady in our respectful view it is unforgivable that the authorities allowed Duplessis to go to his grave without facing justice. The families have had to accept that after 40 years of waiting, 31 of them in the post-apartheid era, they are unlikely to see justice done in this case. Given the ongoing and shameful delay by the authorities to sort the legal fees of the former state officials, there's a high probability that the few remaining key witnesses, who are all in the twilight of their lives, may not testify in this inquest because of death or infirmness. They include 88 years old Gerrit Nicolaas Erasmus, former Lieutenant General and head of the Port Elizabeth Security Branch, 85 years old Baron Jacobus Duplessis, former Minister of Black Education and also sat on the State Security Council, 84 years old Isaac Johannes Krappies Engelbrecht, former Major General and head of SAP's Counterintelligence Department, 82 years old Christoffel Pierre Joffel van der Westhuizen, former Lieutenant General of the SADF and former Officer Commanding EP Command. And we hear from his legal representative that he is in Cradock. We did attempt to take his evidence on commission, but because the state, for reasons that are unclear to us and in the face of applicable case law, are doggedly refusing to cough up reasonable legal fees to represent Joffel van der Westhuizen. And Milady, he does need paid legal representation. He did act in the course and scope of his employment with the former state, and the current state, as the successor entitled to that state, is obliged to pay.
Justice for the families of the Cradock Four has been delayed for 40 years and today threatened to be no different. As proceedings started, the court was told that the National Defence Force has not approved payment for the legal fees of former General Yuful van der Westhuizen, meaning his lawyer, although present in court, cannot represent him. The legal fees in this matter, where former police are suspects, are paid for by government. Lawyer for Matthew Gqeberha's family, Gqeberha argued that the commission must proceed and his witnesses be allowed to give evidence implicating van der Westhuizen. But after his lawyer opposed, Judge Tami Beshe handed down a ruling. This means the witnesses that will be called cannot implicate van der Westhuizen until government agrees to pay his legal fees. Witnesses are also allowed to testify based on publicly available documents. Eyewitness News at the Gqeberha High Court.